I'm Peter.
I'm Gavin.
And I'm Gareth.
And we are in the basement. Today, we are talking about stupid things that we did as children.
Oh, boy.
And I'm the youngest, but yet I do a lot of stupid stuff. So
How old are you?
I'm 18. I turned 19 soon.
So you are still a child.
Yes.
How old are you?
I am 32. So
I'll
I'm
be
the oldest.
27 in December. Holy crap.
Yeah. So we're pretty
You make
evenly
me feel
spaced
old.
out. So when I was a kid, I did a lot of dumb things. We had a sand pit down the road from where we lived growing up. And I grew up in Connecticut. I did not grow up in Pennsylvania. We would take our bikes down there, go BMXing, off-roading. We would take quads, motors, our dirt bikes, everything down there. We had this, it was wooden, like, open field, surrounded by woods. And then on the other side of a tree line was literally a quarry. So that's why it was the sand pits. So biking was awesome. There was this one hill that went almost vertically down, and near the bottom, it finally came off and then went into a ramp, but that ramp was a pile of sand. We renamed that cliff Monstro, and it was all of our dreams to ride our bikes down Monstro. Well, one day in my teenage intelligence, I finally decided to take my bike and go over the edge. I did not touch ground to the bottom. I fell into the sand. I had the bike wrapped around me, and I carried the bike home. Awesome.
I'm not even riding this anymore. I'll just carry it.
It couldn't be ridden.
Oh,
I literally bent the
up.
rim on the back tire.
Man, that's some hard impact.
Show off.
So it's not like it was like a 20, 30, it was like 20, 30 feet with sand at the bottom.
Yeah.
There was no way it was going to end well at all, ever. Like, stupidity was going to happen, but in my teenage mind, I'm like, yes!
Awesome!
Wow.
So
Speaking of riding bike, go ahead. I got a couple I can share here. We should have had my cousin Isaac on this one, because him and I could talk all day about the dumb stuff we did as kids. Go ahead, Gavin.
when I was younger, probably 13, 14, I went to this garage down the street from me, and they just had all kinds of random stuff, and I bought this really old bicycle there. Me and my buddy decided, let's cut the tires off of this and weld something onto it. We welded half a snowboard on the front and a full snowboard on the rear. Then we decided, it's time to go snowboarding on a bike. That bike, to this day, still sits in the creek, because there was a river at the bottom of the steepest hill in Belleville, and we decided, this is a good place to test this. We don't need a small hill. So I get on, and I'm like, this is going to be awesome. So I start going, it's going well. Like, it's working better than I thought it would. Until I get about halfway down, and I'm like, alright, time to turn so I don't go in the creek. It did not turn as well as I thought it would.
I'm just picturing the handlebars
Yeah,
sideways
like this.
and the snow coiling up in front.
So I kept trying to turn, trying to get it to go. Next thing I know is handlebar lock sideways, start tumbling. I land on the ground, and the bike just keeps going and tumbling, lands in the creek.
Still laying there.
We should recover this bike.
We should recover.
Can't be
We
that hard.
should, yeah.
Actually,
That'd be a good picture.
I think someone might have grabbed it. It's where the Penn Street is.
Yeah.
That hill on Penn Street.
Oh, that is a good hill.
That is a good hill.
So what's your...
So since we're talking about bikes.
This is literally turning into the bike stupidity episode.
Yeah, it is, really. So we used to live with my Graham and Pat. My family did. My mom, my dad, my brother, and I. We lived with my Graham and Pat, and just up the lane was my cousin's house. And in between the two was like a patch of woods that would grow over. But we rode our bikes so many times down through those woods, we had literally a path going. And sometimes, for whatever reason, it was always the same tree, too. Like, this happened multiple times. But we would be coming down off of the hill, like going down to my Gram's house, and I don't know if I was just too young or what, but I just could not make that one turn. And every single time, boom, right into the tree, dude. I remember one time I hit it and I had bark stuck in my face. And my lip was bleeding and all kinds of stuff, man. It was not just me. I mean, me, my cousin, my other cousin, she hit it. My brother, we would always hit that tree. And I don't know why. But it's like we could never turn fast enough or something. And it sucked bad.
Did you cry?
Of course I did. It was like 5. But speaking of him, you want to hear some other stupid stories. So there was I don't know what kind of bush it was. It almost looked like a Christmas tree outside our house. And every year it would grow these little red berries with like these things in the middle. Well, me and Isaac one day decided those look pretty tasty. Popped a couple berries in our mouth, and my pap comes out and just loses his mind. Like, what are you guys doing? You didn't eat those, did you? Come to find out they're like poisonous berries. So we get taken to the hospital, and what's that stuff you drink? That's
Epicat.
Yeah. They made us chug that down, and I'm sitting there just puking my guts out, and Isaac's like looking at me like, I don't know what's going on. Like, they were like feeding him donuts and all kinds of stuff. He would not throw up to save his life. That was another good one.
So we're talking about stupid things other than bikes. When I was in high school, my sophomore or junior year, I spent a lot of time doing after school activities. And there was just this group of us. This group of girls and the couple other guys that were involved in this are the only people who know this happened.
Not anymore.
Crystal. There were 2 Crystals. There was a Brittany. One of the Crystals had a boyfriend. I don't remember all their names. There was a Brittany. 2 Brittnys. Yeah.
2 Britneys and 2 Crystals?
2 Brittnys and 2 Crystals. There were other girls too, but those 2 I remember. Those 4 I remember. I dated 2 of them. Yes, that happened. I was skateboarding through the halls of the school, and I went past the admin office. And as I'm going past the admin office, I cut up the science wing quick, and then you could cut through a quad in the back of the school. So like it was straight path all the way down, quick left, quick right out the doors into the quad. And then when you got on the other side of the quad, it was the tech wing and some of the math wing. 4 admins came out. I remember Miss Salisbury was the admin behind the desk, the secretary at the school. She came out. I was at the doors running out to the quad when I heard screaming, "Who was that on this skateboard?" Like, I am getting run down by this lady, and I'm trying to get it to woodshop as quick as possible. I'm literally using the entire school as a skate park at this point. And I've got at least
grinding down rails and stuff.
It wasn't necessarily stupid, but it wasn't the smartest thing I ever did. Because that was a really quick suspension if I had gotten caught.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
If you got caught.
If you got caught.
Yeah, I never did get caught, but Miss Salisbury, if you ever see this, I'm sorry, I was the guy on the skateboard. You're a nice lady.
Give him suspension.
Suspend him.
Suspend him.
But that was the fastest I'd ever been on that skateboard. So it was all worth it.
So here, I got 2 more for you. Back to my cousin and I. So one day, we found this telephone spike. Like the poles that go in the telephone.
The
or
climbers.
The spikes that, yeah. We found that in that little patch of woods I was talking about. And he got up in this laid over tree somehow. He was up there messing around, and I wasn't really paying attention. I hear him say, "Go, catch!" And I couldn't look up at the second. But whenever I did look up, here comes a spike right down, drops right down the side of my head. Laid my head open, dude. I was screaming, we about killed each other on multiple occasions. It
How
wasn't
did
a
you
couple
survive
months.
childhood?
Dude, I don't know. It wasn't a couple months later we were outside messing around, smacking golf balls around. And he was standing too close to me, and I swung and smacked him right above the eyebrow. Laid him open, dude. We had to go to the hospital. I was crying. I was so upset. I thought I killed him. I don't know how we made it through childhood. I could sit and talk about this all day, dude.
I don't know how I made it through childhood either, because my neighbors had one of those picnic benches at the bottom of their hill next to their house. I had 4 neighbors. I'm not going to give their names, but the last names were Erdels. And we had it set up that we had 2-person toboggans. And we put the picnic table at the bottom of the hill of their house. And we would go down the hill in the toboggan and then pull the toboggan up and jump on the toboggan at just the right time. That we could grind the toboggan along the bench of the picnic table and then fall flat on our faces on the other side.
Yeah, childhood was a good time. Wish I could get back.
Speaking of childhood, so you're 18, so what'd you do yesterday?
Well, I went to work.
Oh, that's fun.
No, I didn't go to work. Yesterday was Sunday.
Yes it was.
So I was driving home from New York. Big old family, friend, party up in New York by Buffalo. That was an interesting time. Did a lot of stupid things. I dropped the lid to the big pig cooker. The storm was from the hurricane, tropical storm, whatever it ended up being, was coming through. We were catching the tail end of it. So it was blowing 20 miles per hour, and we got the lid open. It was Friday. Had the lid open. We were cleaning out the pig cooker, getting ready for Saturday. Next thing I know, lid to the pig cooker comes down, smashes my arm.
That's why you got 2 of them.
You're right. I'm left-handed. Now I am.
Lucky for you.
Because it came down on my right arm, but it came down right on my elbow. That was painful.
So today, instead of saying all the different things, we're going to say, share our video. We want the subscriptions, we want everything else. But if you like this video, please share it with somebody else that you know to try to get the video viewed more. We want more people to see what we're doing.
Yeah, don't do stupid stuff in your childhood like we do. Did. I still do. I'm still a child.
Have a great day.
It's pretty cool.